In this video, I will walk you through the process of setting up your Woodpecker account and launching your first cold email outreach campaign. If you don't have a Woodpecker account and you want to follow along, I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can sign up for a free trial. With that said, let's jump straight in. So the first step in setting up Woodpecker is to connect your email account. This is so Woodpecker can send emails on your behalf. To do so, navigate to the settings page and click Accounts. Then you want to click on Add Email Account. Now, if your email account is with one of these vendors here, you can easily connect to it by clicking on the vendor name. If not, then you can manually connect to any SMTP server by clicking on Manual Connection and filling out your SMTP and IMAP server details. Something to note here is that since you will be running cold email campaigns, it's important that you do not connect your primary business email. Doing so can hurt your deliverability, so I recommend purchasing a new domain and creating an email account that will just be used for cold emailing. I will pause the video to fill out the information on this page and then I will come back. Once you connect your email account, you'll then be asked to enter a from name. This is the name that the receiver will see when you send them an email. And then you need to add your email signature, which will be automatically added to the bottom of every email you send. If you don't have a signature, you can click here to use Woodpecker's free email signature generator. Finally, many CRM software offer a feature to display emails that you send to your prospects through cold email campaigns in the prospect's profile, so you have a timeline view of all the communications that a prospect has received from you. To utilize this feature, you can paste the BCC address that your CRM generates for you in this field here. For this example, I don't have a CRM to use, so I'm not going to add anything there. I'm going to click Save, and there we have it. The email account has been successfully connected. Note that Woodpecker allows you to connect as many email accounts as you want, which can enable you to increase the number of emails that you can send. To connect another account, you simply click Add Email Account, and you follow the same process. Once you have your email account connected, the next step will be to prepare it for cold emailing. Go to Settings and open the Sending tab. Here you'll need to define the email account's sending limits. This includes the number of emails you would like to send each day using this email account and the amount of time that Woodpecker will need to wait between each email it sends. Woodpecker recommends that you don't send more than 300 emails per day from one email account. So if you try to set this number higher than 300, it will give you a warning. Also, keep in mind that if you're sending emails from a new domain that has not yet been warmed up, it's better to initially start by sending a smaller number of emails per day and slowly increase that number every few days. This is so you can give your domain a chance to get warmed up and develop a good reputation with the email clients. So what I would personally do is initially set this number to 5 emails per day, wait for 3 days, increase the number to 10 emails per day, wait another 3 days, increase the number to 15 emails per day, and so on until I reach 300 emails per day. Woodpecker also offers a free email warmup tool which can assist with this process, and I will explain how it works later in this tutorial. Moving on to the Domain Checkup tab, this is where you'll need to ensure that your domain has SPF and DKIM records set up. These are very important DNS records to ensure that your emails don't land in the spam box of your prospects. The process of setting up these records depends on which email domain provider you're using, but I recommend going through the link documentation pages here, which will help you set them up. Also, at any point you're confused, you're facing challenges, and you're not sure what to do, just contact the live chat support here, and they will tell you exactly what you need to do to resolve the issue. Once you add the records, click refresh, and Woodpecker will run a check to ensure that the records have been added correctly. Moving on, I will go back to the settings page, accounts, and the next step will be to warm up my email account. Warming up an email account is very important for building trust with email service providers and ensuring that the emails you send land in your prospect's inbox and not in the spam box. This is especially important if your email accounts are linked to brand new domains that have never been used for outreach, as they have no reputation and it's very easy to get flagged. Now, the great thing is that Woodpecker offers a free email warmup service, which you can access by navigating to the warmup page here. Essentially, what this tool does is it sends AI generated emails to your inbox from other email accounts that have also been enrolled in this warmup process. This exchange of emails is what builds reputation with email service providers. To create a new warmup, simply click on Add Warmup, select the email account you would like to warm up, and then select the warmup mode. Email is the best option for newly set up email accounts with no sending reputation. Domain is best if the domain that the email account is attached to is younger than 3 months. Recovery is best for an email account that has issues with deliverability. And this is something that Woodpecker will actually let you know in the deliverability analytics page of your account. For this example, the domain I'm using is quite old, but the email account is brand new. So I'm actually going to select the email option. I'm going to click Add Warmup. And now that the warmup has been initiated, I can see some stats. So I have the email account, I have the status, which is currently running, I have the mode I selected for the warmup, I have the warmup progress, and the estimated end date of the warmup. Warmup is a process that takes a few weeks because, as I explained earlier, in order to build the reputation of an email account, you need to slowly increase the emails that you're sending with it every few days. So this is essentially an automated process which every few days will gradually increase the number of emails that are being sent by this email account in order to start building a good reputation with email clients and ensure that the emails are landing in the inbox. Waiting for an email account to get warmed up can be annoying, but it really helps increase the chances that your emails will land in your prospect's inbox when you actually start your cold emailing campaigns. Now, while your email account is being warmed up, you can focus on other important tasks such as building your prospects list and creating your cold email campaigns. Now, something to note is that while your email account is going through this warm-up process, you will actually be receiving emails in your inbox from random accounts that you might not know. And that is totally normal because those accounts are also part of the warm-up group and they need to send emails to your account in the same way that your account will be sending emails to them. So it's an exchange of emails and it needs to happen in order for all accounts to be properly warmed up. So just ignore those emails that you get. They're probably going to be AI generated emails, so they're not going to make much sense. Just ignore them. Don't put them in the spam box. Just leave them in your inbox until the warm-up process is done. Moving on, let's upload some prospects. Navigate over to the prospects page. And this is where all the prospects that you upload to Woodpecker will be listed. To upload new prospects, click on Add Prospects. And here you'll see 3 options. You can either import your prospects by uploading a CSV file, you can manually add them one by one, or you can import them from another platform such as a CRM or Google Sheet using the built-in integrations that Woodpecker offers. For this example, I will be importing a CSV file with a list of prospects that I exported from apollo.io. When importing a CSV file, you need to map the fields of the CSV file with the fields that Woodpecker offers for each prospect record. For example, in the CSV file, I have a first name column. So here I'm going to map this to the first name field. Last name column, I'm going to map this to the last name field. Title, I'm going to map this to the title field. Company, I'm going to map this to the company. Email. It says it's already in use. Okay, so it mapped it to the account owner, which is incorrect. So I'm going to turn this to none. And so on. You would follow this process to map all the fields from the CSV file that you need to have in Woodpecker and include as part of your outreach. These fields can be used for personalization purposes. They can be used for conditions. So it's important to add everything that you think you will need in your outreach campaigns. Now, if you want to create fields that Woodpecker doesn't have by default, that's what snippets are for. So for example, here in my CSV file, I have a seniority column and I want to map that to a seniority column in Woodpecker. But it actually doesn't have a field called seniority. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign that to one of these 15 snippets here. So snippets are essentially like custom fields that you can add data to. So I'm going to select snippet 1 to be the field for the seniority value. And I'm also going to set number of employees to snippet number 2. Once we're done with the import, I'll show you how to edit the name of these snippets from the account settings. Okay, so now I can click import to initiate the import process. Great, so the import has been completed. I'm gonna go back to my prospects page here, and here are the prospects I uploaded. Now to rename the snippet columns, or in other words, the custom fields here, you would click on a snippet, and this will take you to the company settings page here under snippet labels. And by clicking on the edit icon of a snippet, you can enter the name that you want to give it. So in this case, I'm gonna rename snippet 1 to seniority and snippet 2 to number of employees. Save. Perfect. So now if I go back to the prospects page, as you can see, the columns have been renamed. Now, something I forgot to mention is that Woodpecker automatically verifies the emails of the prospects that you upload. So you don't need to use any third-party verification software to verify the emails. It will automatically do it for you when you're about to start sending emails to the prospects. And if a prospect has an invalid email address, it will automatically change the status from active to invalid. Now that you have some prospects uploaded, you can proceed to create your first cold email campaign. Navigate to the campaigns page and click Add Campaign to initiate the setup process. Begin by giving your campaign a name. Then select the email account you would like to use. If you wish to use multiple email accounts, that's possible. This will allow you to split the number of emails your campaign will be sending between more than one account. This means that you can send more than 300 emails per day, which is the maximum number of emails that Woodpecker recommends that you send from each connected email account. So if you have multiple accounts and you want to use them, then you would click Add the next email account and you will select another email from the list. Once you have your email account selected, the next step is to define the campaign path. This is essentially the sequence of emails that Woodpecker will send to each prospect in your list. First, you can set a schedule to say that the campaign should not start sending any emails sooner than a specific date that you select here. For this example, I'll leave this empty because I want the campaign to start immediately. Next, you have the option to add a condition that, if met, will take the prospect down a different path. For example, let's say you're running a campaign where you're reaching out to sales and marketing managers. If you want the set of emails that you send to the sales managers to be different than the set of emails that you send to the marketing managers, you can have a condition which says title equals sales manager. If this condition is true for a prospect, then they will go down the yes path. If not, then they will go down the no path. So the sales managers will receive all the emails that are under the yes path, and the marketing managers or whoever else does not meet this condition will receive all the emails that you add under the no path. So in summary, in each path, you're able to define a unique set of emails that only the prospects that go down that path will receive. Now, if you decide to instead add the condition to another part of the campaign, for example, after this initial email is sent, then you have more options when it comes to what you want to base the condition on. So previously, we only had an option to base the condition based on a value of a snippet, or in other words, a field that is part of a prospect's profile. But now, since the campaign has already sent an email to the prospect, we can also have a condition that is based on an action performed on that email. For example, if the prospect has opened an email more than 5 times, then they will go down the yes path. If not, they will go down the no path. If a prospect has clicked on a link that is part of an email that was received previously, then they will go down the yes path. If not, they will go down the no path. So you have more action conditions to work with because messages have already been sent to all the prospects that went down the initial path here. Now, it's important to note that you can only have one condition in your entire campaign. What this means is that once you set a condition somewhere in your path, you can't add more conditions to the other paths of the campaign. For example, if you look here, I have the condition here, but then I'm not able to add any other conditions on this path or this path here. I can only add steps, which actually translate to emails, right? I can only add additional emails that I want to send to the prospect that goes down the path. I cannot add another condition. So you want to be strategic about where you place your condition. Now I'm going to remove the condition and let's take a look at the email builder. So I'm going to go to the first email that gets sent here. And once you click on any email action, this is the window that you will see. This is where you edit the content of the email. You can start by entering a subject line, for example, a quick question. And then you write the body of the email, or in other words, the actual message that you want the prospect to receive. Now, in order to personalize your message, you can use fields from the prospect's profile. If you remember from earlier, in Woodpecker, these are called snippets. Now, to add a snippet, you click on the snippets icon down here, snippets, select the snippet that you want to add, and then click on it. Now, in this case, I want the first name to be dynamically added right there. So essentially what will happen is once this email is about to be sent to the prospect, Woodpecker will check the prospect's profile, it will retrieve their name, and it will populate it right there. So if the prospect's name is Mike, it will say, hello, Mike. If it's James, it will say, hello, James, and so on. Now, you can add as many snippets as you like. The more you can fit in, the better, so your emails are more personalized. If you have inspiration block and you want some ideas for your message, you can actually use the built-in AI writer that Woodpecker offers by clicking on this icon here. What you need to do here is write a prompt, or in other words, a description of the type of email that you want the AI to generate, and it will generate it for you. For example, here's a prompt that I wrote. Write a cold email for a CEO of a company that has recently received funding. Congratulate them on their achievement and offer them free access to a vetted list of some of the top software engineers that are currently looking for a career opportunity. Then I select the tone of voice. I want this to be less formal, more resourceful, and I want the text length to be short. I'm going to click generate, and there we go. Congratulations on your recent funding. This is a significant milestone and testament for your team's hard work. To support your growth, we'd like to offer you complimentary access to our vetted list of top software engineers currently seeking for new opportunities. This could be a great way to bolster your team with high-quality talent. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. And then the signature will automatically be added at the bottom there. So, and then I would personalize this with hi first name. Hi first name. There we go. And you can also, like if you have, let's say, the company name, I would say something like, congratulations on the recent funding round for company. So that's how you can go about writing your message using AI to help you, and also personalizing it with some snippets. Now, even if you spend a lot of time perfecting your message, you can't be 100% certain that it will perform well. So what you might want to do is experiment with different types of messages. This is possible by clicking the plus icon here and creating a new version of your message. This is referred to as split testing. What will happen is Woodpecker will send out version A to 50% of your prospects and version B to the other 50%. The system will randomly select the email version that each prospect will receive. Later in your campaign stats, you will be able to compare the results of each version and decide which one is the winner. And actually, you're not just limited to 2 versions, you can add up to 5 different versions. Another useful feature you can utilize in the email builder here is the time window selection. So essentially what happens here is you can select the time window in which this message will be sent to a prospect. So for example, here I have selected, by default, Woodpecker selects all the weekdays and assigns the time window between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. So what this means is that if I launch this campaign on a Saturday, it will wait until Monday 8 a.m. before it sends the email to the prospect. So this is to ensure that you get the highest chance possible of your prospect actually seeing the email in their inbox and opening it. Perfect. So that's how you construct an email in a Woodpecker campaign. So the idea is that you would repeat this exact same process for all the emails that you want your prospect to receive in this path. Between each email, you can also set a delay. So here we can say that after the email is sent, we want to wait for 2 days or 5 hours, for example, before moving on to the next action. A key thing to note is that a prospect will be removed from a campaign as soon as they respond to an email that you send them. Otherwise, they will keep going through all the steps until they reach the end where they will be marked as non-responsive. All right, moving on to the next part of the campaign setup, you need to define the list of prospects that you want to add to this campaign. Once again, you have a few options. You can either import a list of prospects from a CSV file, you can add them manually one by one, you can select them from the prospects database, or you can import them from an integration. Since I already imported a list of prospects in the previous step of this tutorial, I'm going to select the from database option. And then I'm going to select the prospects that I want to add to the campaign. Then I'm going to click add. So here I have the prospects. Now, note that this is not final. You can keep importing new prospects to the campaign even after you activate it. All right, so we're almost there. We're now in the summary section where the only thing left to do is to double check that everything has been set up correctly and then activate the campaign. Now at this stage, you also have access to some testing tools you can use. The first one is this here. So you can send a test campaign to one of your personal email addresses to see what the emails will look like once they actually reach the inbox. Another thing you can do is if you go to any of your emails, you're now able to perform a spam check. So this will run in the background and then you will receive a notification here telling you whether the email has actually passed the spam check or not. This is great to ensure that your email will not be landing in the prospect spam box and hurting your deliverability. Once you perform all your tests though, and you're ready to go live, then you can just click run here to activate the campaign. All right, so I went ahead and added some more prospects to the campaign. I activated it and left it running for some time so I can show you what the stats look like once there is some activity. So firstly, on the campaigns page here, you will see some high-level stats about your campaign, such as the number of prospects that are part of it, the number of prospects that have received the message, the percentage of prospects that opened an email, and the percentage of prospects that have responded to an email. And then here you'll see an overall interest level that your prospects have. Now clicking on the campaign, here you'll see some more granular metrics such as the number of invalid email addresses. These are addresses that did not pass verification and therefore an email was not sent to them. In my case, all of them passed verification, so this is equal to 0. A bounce rate, so in case where some emails are sent but do not land in the prospect's inbox due to an error, then you will see the number going up here. Now scrolling down a bit, we can see metrics for each email that gets sent as part of the campaign. So this is the first email that gets sent and this is the second one. And for the ones that have multiple versions, so this one you see it says A/B test, if we click on the record, we will actually see the metrics of each version individually. So this can help, determine which one is performing better. And it actually tells you here. So there's a little icon next to the one that is performing better. It tells me that this is this is giving me the best results. So I can actually choose directly from here to switch off version A. And this means that from now on, only version B will be sent. So yeah, that's how A/B testing essentially works. You test multiple versions and then pick the one that performs the best. And from that point on, you only send that version. So in summary, you have a lot of different metrics that you can check to understand the performance of your campaign. Knowing which parts of the campaign are doing well, which aren't, will enable you to make data-driven decisions and keep improving your campaign, which will in turn will help you achieve better results. And this concludes this tutorial. If you were able to follow along, you should now have your first cold email outreach campaign running in Woodpecker. If not, let me know in the comments below where you're currently stuck and I'll do my best to help you. Also, if you have any other questions or suggestions for future videos you would like to see, let me know in the comments below. I would love to do videos that are valuable for you. With that said, I'll see you on the next one.